Sounds great. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We'll start with, we'll start with a little bit of flow. So just follow along type of stuff. And then I'll break down exercises and then we'll learn a phrase. So we'll just start together in a second parallel position, maybe actually a little bit wider than your hips. And let's start making little circles. Just like up and over. You can come up onto the balls of your feet, or if you're not feeling that just yet, you can just play around with the hips. Letting your knees collapse however they want to fold. Just investigating your own body. And then we'll stop at the center and a little reverse. Other way. Just doing what feels good. And now let's take a little head circle, nice and slow. We'll take a couple so you can go as fast or as slow as you need today. And I'm trying to allow the whole body to get involved. So we're not trying to stay really still and just move the head. We can kind of walk through our feet a little bit. Let's let this circle drop down. Maybe we have a little bend in our knees. And now in the rib cage. Like we're stirring the space with our rib cage. So you can massage your feet a little bit as you do this movement too. Spreading the toes. And allowing the shoulders to get involved just slightly. It's really about the rib cage, but we're letting everything do what it needs to do. And drop into the hips now. Nice. Couple more here. They feel good. And then, pretty similar, it feels the same way as the hips, but just focusing on what the knees are doing as we're circling the hips. So we have a little bit of a circle in the knees too. And then pouring all of our weight into our left leg. We'll just stand up nice and tall on that leg and stir our thigh and our hip. So a little bit of a foot ankle massage here too, and just a little stirring. You can bend the standing leg if it feels better, whatever you feel. Nice, and then a little bit differently, take the heel of your foot and a massage into the ground, like we're trying to dig a hole in sand or something with our heel. And then piano toes. So if you want, you can use your fingertips to help you, but you're just gonna put the pinky toe down by itself, and each individual toe try to spread and let it hit the floor on its own, like it's playing the piano. And then once you feel like you have a really wide spread foot, using all four corners of the foot, we're gonna slowly put our weight into that right leg, and then just rise up like we're sipping water through a straw through that standing leg, and just a little baby balance, no biggie. You can do whatever you want with this accenting leg. You can play a little bit, or maybe just take a little stretch, bringing that knee to the chest, or maybe a little quad stretch. It's okay if we're falling over, we're just testing our balance. And then slowly, once you get a little burn in that standing leg, we'll come to two legs. And do it all over again. Head roll to the left this time. And now that we're on the other side, we can take a little bit more freedom in how we're interpreting the movement. So we could really play with our arms as we're playing with our head. And dropping down, circle with the rib cage. Really stirring the energy around us. And whenever you're ready, into the hips as well. Not forgetting about our toes and our feet and our fingers. So we have energy throughout our whole body. And then focusing on the knees. So we're still circling in the hip, but we're focusing on the circle that's happening in the knees. Yeah, and I let my heels come up a little bit for this. you need to, you definitely can. And then same thing, we'll pour weight into the right foot, or right leg standing up tall on that leg, and then stirring our thigh bone in our hip socket. So whatever that means to you. Little massage for the ball of the foot, and a little circle for the ankle too. You can reverse. Nice. And then little massage on the ground with the foot. Digging a little hole in the ground. And then again, piano toes, you can use your hand if it helps. Each toe is pressing the key on their own. It's a little tricky at first. If you've never done it before. Now you have this really active, wide spread foot. We're using all four corners of the foot to pour weight into that standing leg, and then sipping the weight up through the standing leg. Then we have a little play balance. Whatever you want to do here. Maybe playing with some plie and also some straight leg moves. Nice. You can also give yourself some stimulation, some massage. And let's come to both legs. Rolling the shoulders down and back while we're still walking through the feet, so super chill. Elbows down and back, all the way down, up to a narrow position with the arms, and then we'll have a little sternum, reaches up towards the ceiling, narrow the ribs, back to this parallel, and a little drop swing. Really let it release. We'll do one more drop swing, and on the way up, right foot comes up, and plie, press down, arms to second. Again, sipping weight through the standing leg, toes trying to touch the screen, and you let yourself fall down, pushing back on that standing leg, hips, or ribs right over hips, pulling into a narrow, parallel pasta, and then folding the arms in, and expanding out, letting that leg go straight behind you. Sort of like a little airplane pose. And then taking our attention to our standing leg, again, all four corners of the feet. And pulling up to passe. Let's grab the leg wherever you can, pull it or guide it up to the chest, and then just let it drop. Yes, heavy leg. And to the left. Shoulders roll back. Elbows roll back. All the way down, up to parallel, little arch, and narrow close, drop, swing, and up, one more, and left leg comes up, right away, plie, pushing down, second. Développé, really about the length, trying to touch the screen, and falling into a lunge. And throwing the ribcage right over the hip. Pulling into passe. And folding the arms down to the knee and expanding out. Energy through the fingertips, through the head, through the tail, through the toes. And pulling up to passe. Grab the leg wherever you can, wherever you want to. Pull it and let it drop. Beautiful. Let's come into a first position. I'm going to restart the music so we don't run out. We're going to do a plie. I think we can all just follow along, actually. We'll go slow. Here we go. And demi. And straight. Demi. And straight. Here we go. Grand plie. Arms and foot. Arms dive down our midline, heels turn back, little stretch over, bending one leg, and stretch, and the other leg, stretch. Let's take a snake up, so nose first, snaking up, rolling, shoulders back, turning out the feet. We have a little shift, shift, crack, and again. Grand plie, hover at the bottom. Diving down through the midline. Taking a little stretch, bending one knee and straight, other and straight, snaking up. Rolling the shoulders, turning out. Undo to second and shift. Shift, same thing. Grand plie. Here we can take the focus up while keeping the ribs not flared out. Diving down. Bending one leg and straight, other and straight, snaking up. Rolling the shoulders back and shift, shift, press. One more time. And grand, hover at the bottom. Diving down. And bending one and the other. Sneaking up. Rolling out. Tendu back to first. Shift, shift, prep. And tendu front. Pulling it in. High diagonal. And coming up to the side. So we want air under our armpits. And then you can favor the left hip a little bit so we really feel that diagonal pull. And back. Really feel the twist. One more to the side. And just a little prance through the feet, just to warm them up. And you can improv with the arms. And with the focus. And the upper torso. 5, 6, 7, plie to the left. And then now, favoring the right hip, big diagonal. And twist. Straight back. And twist. To the side. Big twist. And then really even plie, so we're perfectly centered with that pelvis. We'll bring the heels up, straighten the knees, and then slowly pressing down the heels like there's an egg right underneath us. And pop up. And forced arch, plie, and pulling up. One more set, and plie, forced arch, and releve, lowering the heels, coming up, forced arch, plie, and rising up. Let's put the heels back, just take a little roll down, or maybe from one side. And we go side and center. Little plie and stretch. And let's roll up this time, so letting the head tuck. Rolling up right on top of that pelvis. And maybe one more time, going the other side. Side and center. Little plie. And stretch. And plie, rolling right up. Nice, and take a couple of seconds to do what you need to do. Play around with any movement you want. And we'll learn a tendu exercise. Okay. All right. So I'll just talk through it a little bit. So we have tendu, plie, tendu, and then you're going to go over to the forced arch. So where your tendu was, just right over to it. then pulling back into a tendu. Then we have tiny rounded down with our toes. Like our toes are doing like a little sniff on the ground. Sniff, sniff, around, and squeeze. Then taking to the side. Tendu, plie, tendu, forced arch. Pulling back, sniff, sniff, around, and close. Then, oh my gosh, I'm so shaking up. Go around and close. Ah! Oh yeah, sorry guys. So you go around and close. Then we're doing a little coupe, like a pas de. It feels like we're about to do a little développé, but we're gonna smack the leg on the ground and then pulling, using our inner thigh to come back to first. So it's really like a wet rag, and if it helps, you can do that arm with it too. Yeah, just watch your knee. If your hip are extended, you don't want to rock too back into that hyperextension. So being mindful as we begin. So tendu, plie, tendu, forced arch, tendu, circle, circle, run jump, close. Da da ba 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 da da around, close, then coupe, développé, smack, pulling it in. So you have 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, let's do it. And if those arms seem like a lot for you, and it's just making it all too confusing, just keep your arms in second. Oh yeah, this song. All right. So easy first position. Let's bring our arms behind us, slide them down and out. So shoulders down, strong back. Here we go. Tendu, plie, tendu, forced arch, circle, circle, down. In. Yes, and left. Pulling in, one more set. Now. Beautiful. Shake it out. All right. Dégagé. This is why I got confused. It's a little similar to tendu. So, yeah. Dégagé, squeeze and close. Dégagé, plie. To the side. And then this is kind of like in the warm-up up to your interpretation. We're just going to turn in leg, turn out the leg, and then a little low développé. But if you want, it feels really good on my back at least. You can have a little bit of an arch and play with your upper body as you do that. And if you're gonna play, I think it helps if you plie or bend the left knee. So you have a little bit of a more stable ground. Then you go to the side. Dégagé and close. Dégagé, plie. Side, in, out, side, and close. Dégagé to the back. Dégagé, plie. Side, in, out, side, and close. And I'll go to the left. So a little trick for this one, it's pretty simple, but every time you plie, you're just gonna brush to the side and do the in, out. Yeah, we'll just do front side, back, back to the right, front side, back to the left. And then a little balance. Let's do it. Here we go to the left. And right to a releve. Playing with the arms however you'd like. So you can come to a fifth, or maybe a second, or you could stay at first. And if you're feeling like it today, maybe you can explore taking your rib cage off of your pelvis and playing with what that balance looks like. Or maybe you don't feel like it, and that's fine too. And let's finish. Plie. Nice. Shake it out. All right. Next one is a little slower. But let's think about this whole exercise. We're moving through honey. So it's a lot of resistance, pushing the negative space around us. So we start in a second parallel, or second position, turned out. We go over for 2 counts, little lunge. You can take your focus down or up or stay forward. Contract to the center, grand plie. Over to the left, and then recovering to the center. And surprise, we're gonna drop and surprise our own self, but keep everything engaged, not like I just did. Then pulling the elbows up, dropping down again, and then just opening to second. That's like part one. Then part two, we have a double pulse, trying to pull the ribs away from the hips. Double pulse, double pulse, double pulse. Then explode in the chest, plie. Cut at the hips, which throw our heels back. We relax over. Then we're gonna bring our fingertips together, kind of like a diving gesture. But we're gonna snake our head 4 times to bring us back up. So our head is always going in the opposite direction as our fingertips. So we get a nice snake. Then part 3, contract. Come to fifth. Big reach, pulling the hips away, and then plie and stretch. And we're ready to go to the left. So really quick, over for 2, center for 2, over for 2, coming up, and surprise, pulling up, drop and open, double pulse, double pulse, double pulse, double pulse, to fifth, explode, plie, cut at the hips, heels, like that, fingertips together, try to sink the other way now, whichever way you do on the right side, and contract, and fifth, and big reach, pulling the hips, plie to second, and that's it, yeah? So nice and slow, really using a lot of resistance through this movement. Here we go. This song has a bit of an intro, so we have to wait just a sec. Maybe roll out your feet a little bit. Let's find our second. And again, sliding arms down to come out. Here we go. And over. Step. And open. Drop. And up. Drop. And open. Double. And explode. Plie. Cut. Flip. Snake. And contract. And stretch. And plie. Rising up. Here we go. And open. Drop. And double. And explode. Plie. Cut. Flip. Snake. reach, plie. Straighten the knees, scooping something thick to rise you up into a big X. So neck is nice and soft, chest is lifted, but our ribs are nice and pinned down, not out. And plie, finish. Shake it out, whatever you have to do. All right. Next two. So this doesn't travel too much, but I would suggest going as far back in your space as you can. We're going to start with a right tendu, left arm in first. We're going to go scoop down, so I'm thinking pelvis down and under to rise up, come through first, and then tendu with that left leg. Drop it under to come to first and plie, and then we have a batma and close, batma and close. To the back, it's not really an arabesque. We're going to pinch over our left leg. So from the side, I'm really open. Almost feels like a second. I'm pinched over. Then I'm going to use this arm to coax my hamstring. So I go turn in, turn up, turn out, turn in, I mean. Most of my weight's on my left foot. Then I'm going to open. So I put my weight in my heel, and I open to turn out. Now I'm in like a little bit of a lunge. You're gonna push back, and then a little shuffle back to come to first, however you need for your space. So you can do it to the left. So tendu, fourth through first. Tendu, fourth through first, plie, batma. To the side, open back, and then this is fast. So turn out, turn in, turn out, push, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Yeah? Maybe from the side I'll do that once. So I'm open, I go turn in, turn out, push, shuffle, shuffle, back. Yeah? Let's give it a go. Here we go. 5, 6, tendu. Try looking at the moon. Just looks like the sun. There's a light. Get ready to be fast. Sun is out. Back, turn out, turn in, turn out. Push, shuffle, and left. Turn out to stay true. Just now that all things change. Can we go fast? Turn out, push, one more set. We are the songs. We are the songs. We are the songs. Turn in, turn out, push, shuffle, and last. Try looking at the moon. Just looks like the sun. Something's got to change. Nice. Beautiful. All right. Take a little stretch. Maybe grab a sip of water. And then we'll start learning a phrase. Like 1 minute.
Merci toute existence.
All right. So, the phrase this week is to the song Cosmic Dancer by T-Rex, in case you're interested. I always forget to say that. All right, let's get started. I'll teach physicality first, and then we'll go in and color in the counts, okay? So, we're starting facing the right top corner of our space, and our right foot is a little bit more in front than our left. So if I was facing flat front. You still want a little space between your legs, so it's not like you're on the runway. So you have a little bit of space. And we're thinking that someone, we're not gonna actually do this with our arm, but we're thinking this, that someone is pushing our head, like our chin to our chest, and then we wanna push their hand out and have a little bit of an arch. But then they push it back down, you wanna push out, a little bit of an arch, and then back down, last one, a little bit of arch, yeah? So our hands are gonna be on our thighs, just resting here, but try to think about your elbows it feels like they're tucked into my ribs, I don't want them out. And each time our head gets pushed down, we get a little bit lower. So the first time we have straight legs, our head gets pushed down, and as we go to arch, our knees bend a little bit. Then we get pushed down, as we go to arch, our knees bend a little bit more, and then we're gonna be analyst and stretch. And then out of here, we're gonna grab our knee, our thigh, our ankle, wherever you need to. We're gonna grab our right leg and pull it up, almost like I wanna kiss my knee. Pull it up and step, step. Yeah, and then on those steps, we're thinking lower and lower, like we're going downstairs. Yeah. Let me give you counts for all of this. So we have 1, reach 2, 3, reach 4, 5, reach 6, pull in 7, and 8. Yeah. And again, my hands are on my thighs, because the next movement, I can thrust my hips, and I feel more sturdy if I'm like, yeah, got myself, so I can thrust. Yeah. Maybe let's do that one more time with counts, and then I'll finish it out. Or not finish it out, I'll go on a little bit. So we have down, and resistance pushing out. Down, resist and arch. Down, resist and arch. 7 and 8. Yes. So from here, I'm thinking push my hips forward, and my arms come up, and they float down. Yeah, like they're like a little sheet or something. So that's 1, and ideally by 2, they're starting to come down. The music is pretty fast, so just think of it as up and float down. I'll come close. So they just float up and down. Then you have pincher hands, and it's like you're taking whatever in your left hand, and you're spreading it out, like, whew. Yeah, or like a string, whatever you want to think about. So we push forward 1, coming down 2, and then as the pincher fingers start, I feel resistance in almost like my shoulders. Like my shoulders start to do the work before my hands do. So my right shoulder is trying to open to the back wall, which makes me pull and feel this strength. And then I'm gonna go on 5. It's like there's a balloon right here, and we just wanna pop the balloon. So we still have our pincher hand, and then as we pop, we kind of have like a little Elvis moment where the knee comes in too. The knee is helping us pop, so like, whoop, whoop. Yeah. And we want the quickness in the pop, but we also want the quickness in the pull away. So it's really, ooh, like almost like, ooh, that's hot. That type of feeling. So we stretch, and we go 5 and I get pretty low on my pull away. Yeah. Okay, that's rewind. Maybe from 7. So we just did all the heads, blah, 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 blah. We go 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah. It's pretty fast, so we're gonna try with music in 1 sec. Let's run through it all, and then we'll try it with music. I'm gonna try to count a little bit more up to tempo. Yeah. So here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah. So for that 5 I'll come a little closer because it's like a weird gesture. Go like boop, pop, and then pull it in. So I'm really, I think I take my right shoulder with me. That might help you out a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so it's really, I think about the right side, although it looks like the left side's doing that. Okay, let's try it with music. We have kind of a short intro, so just prepare yourself. 5, 6, here we go. 7, 8. Yeah! Let's do it one more time just like that. And then we'll clarify some things. Ah, my music is going crazy. Here we go. 5, 6, here we go. Ha, and yeah! Great. Okay. So for this pop and, it's a weird, I talk about like cutting yourself off a lot. So I feel like that's what that movement is, that you actually surprise yourself and cut yourself off. So this hand can feel a little lost because it's straight and it feels like it's doing one thing, but the next thing should pull it down actually. So when you're pulling away from popping a balloon, you want your hand to come down too. Yeah! So this next part is a little syncopated. So we did 5 and 6. It's kind of like the idea of the big arm, but we don't have the time for it, so we just unfold straight out and really relaxed hands. So we have 5 and 6, and we're gonna drop down, and it's almost like my hands are in a prayer hand, but not full on. We're gonna swipe the left arm up our right arm, and as we step with the left foot to face the left corner, the right palm flips down. So much going on, but it feels pretty good. Like it's not too much to think about. So we're swiping up the arm, and as we step, the left hand comes to your chest, and the right comes down. Yeah. So that's, we have this like 7, step 8. And then a little bit more of this rhythmic part. We have a 1 and 2. Yeah, so we just did swipe step 8. You're gonna use your left hand to tuck under. So it's like the back of my hand is on the back of my right tricep. And I'm gonna bring it right in front of me, like super level, and then everything drops. And again, I'm thinking elbows super tight to my body. Like, whoop, I want to be so small, I have like a little secret of my hands or something. Yeah? Let's do that again maybe. Let's go from 7 and 8. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Drop down 7, 8. 1 and 2. Yeah. So all of that's pretty fast, and then we have a lot of time for what's next. Let's just go over the rhythm a bunch of times. The 5 and 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2. Like we'll just drill that for a little so you feel good about it. 5 and 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2. Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, students were asking about how to explore an explosive movement quality while staying in control and not always like falling off their balance. So I think that this part is a good exercise for that because we want a lot of power in our accents, but our pullaways I think have to be really soft so we're not falling around. So we have a really harsh, soft, harsh, open, harsh, soft. Yeah, so we really want to find a smooth quality while accenting what we want to accent. Because I think all of this movement has the ability to be accented or soft, so you can play with what you want to really hit and what you'd like to make a little bit more subtle. So let's do that one more time and then we'll go on. Or we'll try it with music. So we have a 5 and 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2. And something that also helps that movement, when I opened up to 8 and I go 1, I actually am looking at my hand. I follow my hand and I follow my hand down. Yeah, beautiful. Let's try with music and we'll go.
I was dancing when I was 12.
5, 6, 7, 8, and
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I was dancing when I
Yeah,
was out.
nice. Let's do it again. One more time.
I was dancing when I was 12.
6, 7, 8, and
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out.
yes.
I was dancing when I
Nice.
was out.
Beautiful. All right, let's keep going. Also, if anyone has a question, you can totally unmute yourself and be like, girl, you're going way too fast. I feel like getting the vibe, we all are feeling good. So we drop, and then from here we have, what is this? 1 and 2. We have till 7. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's really, I'm thinking, this could be a lot of things, but I'm really thinking about stretching my front body and having a little bit of an arch, and your hands can be whatever they want. But I think the quality of the hands growing with you and unfolding when the chest finally comes up is what the main idea of the movement is. But you can also play with tension in the fingers, another release, or no arch at all, and just a nice roll up. Yeah? So we're either arch or we're just rolled up, but our arms are up high. And on 7, we're thinking like, squeeze my abs so hard and contract. And that initiation brings our arms right in front of us. Yeah, so I feel like they look like little like spatulas. So we drop, and then here I want to be really mechanical. So sometimes in my movement, I do a lot of like throwing the gesture, but this one is different. We're going to be really precise. Like we're opening a door, and then ball change to the back. Yeah, and that's pretty fast. So we just have this nice arch, and we go 7 and 8. Yeah, and I'm going, right, left, face back. Yeah, maybe one more time from 5. Why not? 5 and 6, 7, 8. A 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and yeah. And then just for musical purposes, I'm gonna go on just a little bit. So we did boop, 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 boop. On the 1, there's a big accent in the song. I think it's like a big drum. So we're gonna hit, almost like I'm thinking like there's a tambourine here. And with my right hip, I'm gonna hit the tambourine and then allow myself to really pour weight into that foot. And then I'm gonna step weight with the left foot. So it turns out a little bit as I unfold my arms and look to my left hand. I went on a little bit more than I wanted to, but it's okay. So it's really about the 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And the way that I feel about it, I'll face you like my back wall. I feel like I'm going like underwater, I'm coming up out of the water, and then I'm sinking down. Yeah, so we have a little bit of a wavy type of feel. Yeah? And then we're gonna have a harsh tick after that. But don't worry about that yet. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's go from 5 again through, and then we'll do it with music. We have 5 and 6, 7, 8, a 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7 and 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in until 8, and the left foot doesn't start moving until 5. So you have 4 counts to really get your weight onto the right leg, and then another 4 counts to bring in. Yeah, let's do it with the music.
I was dancing when I was 12.
5, 6, 7, 8, and
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I was dancing when I was out.
6, 7, and 8, and
Dancing seven flat.
yes, nice. Let's do it again. Oh, I like went right away. Hold on 1 second. I wanted to say one thing. Oh yes, all this I think has that wet rag feeling to it. So really weighted, but it has I don't know, a little bit of laziness to it. Flowy. All right, let's do it one more time. And we'll keep going on.
I was dancing when I was 12.
5, 6, here we go.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I was dancing when I was out. Dancing seven flat.
Yes. All right, let's go. So how about you look at me just for a sec, because it gets confusing when I face the back with this Zoom thing. So we're facing our left hand. We're gonna really sharp, like there's magnetic pull. Our right hand is gonna come to our left knee. Our left knee comes up and it's flexed. And then our left hand is gonna come to our head. So I'm really thinking like all these points of contact are magnets. Even the one between my the left top of my the top of my right hand and my left elbow is a magnet. So we're out, and then on 1, everything gets magnetized, and you can let yourself fall out of it. So we're squeezing so hard that we just fall right out of it. Yeah, and as you fall, let's bring our arms almost like they're holding like a little egg. Yeah, like a weird first position. So we're here, we fall into that, and then we have an up and over. So I'm thinking my chin is far away, like there's a huge blow up ball or something that I have to really make space for. And then we just come down. And that's like a slight shift. We weren't on the right corner for that up and over, but for the drop, we cross our thighs so much that we can now face the front. And then we have 3 lazy ball changes to get you wherever you need to be in your space. It's because we're about to do a leg on the right side, so you might want to get away from your right wall. So we got a little sloppy, sluggish ball change. Yeah, and I'm really thinking like heavy bones in a sack. Yeah, for that ball change, and it's pretty quick. Back front, back front, back front. Yeah, beautiful. So we just came here on feet. We go 1, drop, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. Let's only do 2 ball changes this week. I think I've been doing 3, but for today, let's do only 2 so we have more time for this circle. So again, we have till 8. 1, drop, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. We're gonna throw that leg and drop it, kind of like our warm up. Boop, boop, boop. So we throw it up, drop it, and we have these weird hands, only for a second. We're gonna curl the fingers over, and that dives us into like a grand plie. Yeah, and I'm thinking that this tip of the hands actually brings my shoulders up and my head up. So it's like something is growing and then we push it down. Yeah. So let's go back. I feel like I just taught a lot. So we did 8, 1, drop, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Let's get out of this just because it's awkward. 2, we have 3, 4. So right knee goes to the left wall, right elbow goes to the left wall. But instead of just doing that and just having that be, we want to feel that real diagonal twist that we did with the plie. We're really twisting, trying to get my left shoulder open to the back. Yeah! So we have a nice little moment of stretch. Oh, time is flying. Let's go from this stretch. So we did a 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7 and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, drop, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, let's do it with music. Let's do it unless anyone has any questions. Unmute yourselves. Okay, let's go.
I was dancing when I was 12.
6, 8, here you go.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I was dancing when I was out. Dance myself right out the moon.
1, 2,
Dance myself
3,
right out the moon.
7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes! All right. What are you feeling? Do that one more time or just try to finish it out? One more time? Let's go on. All right, let's go. Okay, so we just did this big twist. What was that? 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have, hold on a second, I need to do it for myself. 5 and 6. That might have not been what I did last week, but I think it will feel better. So we have a back, back, front, front. Yeah, so we're in this big twist. We go right, left, and on the last step, our left hand just comes into our left elbow, yeah? So a big twist, and we have a back, back, front, front. Then the right hand is gonna slide down the chest to like grab something. You turn your body to it. You go knock, knock. And then we have a swipe up the leg kind of goes back. It can be high if you want to do a really big leg, or it can be pretty subtle. So we'll swipe, step, and I'm facing my right wall, kind of like I have a question, hip gesture. And then slowly, your gaze kind of follows your hand. So the hand swipes in front of you, and you let your gaze follow. I'm really leaning into my right hip, and then I have a step to the right and a step to the left. So we got to this question. We slowly bring our gaze to the front, and then as we do the step, our hand just comes to like divide our chest. Yeah, beautiful. So let's go back to that new thing. So we just did 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Just threw all those counts at you. Let's do it one more time, just me saying the counts, but also you can make this time your own, because that's the end. That's the end of the phrase. We did it. So we go maybe from 8 when we're facing the back, and we have magnet 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8. 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. that is just step, touch, step, touch. I'm just being dramatic. I'm making it a little bit more than it is. Yeah. Let's try with music a couple times. All right.
I was dancing when I was 12.
6, 8, we go.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I was dancing when I was out. Dancing myself when I could move. Dancing myself when I could move. Is it strange to dance so soon? Dance myself when I could move.
Yes! Beautiful. Those counts at the end feel a little weird, but it's no biggie. Let's do it one more time. And there's a thing I wanted to say. Oh, okay. I think we'll feel better. So in the beginning, we just did the 7 and 8. We come up, down. For this opening, almost think that you're trying to bring your right elbow up to the right corner. And then let it go from there because you get a really nice diagonal stretch. And it kind of pulls you up out of your plie so then you have a little space for the poke. If that makes sense. Yeah, great. Let's do it one more time.
I was dancing when I was 12.
6, 2, 1, go.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I was dancing when I was out. Dancing myself when I could move. Dance myself when I could move. Is it strange to dance so soon? Dance myself when I could move.
Woo!
Dancing when I
Nice. Let's take a roll down really fast. A roll down slash bow. Thank you for class, everyone. Take a little bend in the knees. And rolling up. And that is it. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.